And I think it's good, too, to start on a map like Lijiang Tower. That's a lot more familiar for these teams, and it's always been just the favorite pick of a collegiate zone because you know what to expect. You have your dive points, you have your brawl points, and you're able to make adjustments accordingly. The one thing about perks that will be interesting is it does affect a little bit of composition swapping, and because it's control, it will carry over from point to point, so it doesn't reset once we look towards a new composition. But we're going to start, by the looks of it, at control center. This tends to be more of a brawly angle. In the past, St. Clair have been known for a very brawly approach to this with a Malga, but instead this time, they'll be on the Ramatcha and it'll be Fisher instead. Iron rolling out on our Samoan hero.
Yeah, they're going to roll out on the Malga to start us off here, and Action will go on to the Ramatcha. Action picked up this semester for St. Clair. Fisher, in the meanwhile, Kiwi picked up as well as Hydrant, so this game a little bit adjusted on either end. Malga's just going to dive right on in here, make things a little bit tougher. It's all over Action here, and Action can only wait. Watch the health bar just drop oh so low as Fisher College off and running.
Like, it gets to some Metro and Amalga. Like, you're just walking through a dumpster fire at this point if you're St. Clair. It's not fun for any team to have that much, like, just damage shoved right at your face. And I think that that tempo is going to be difficult to match as this game goes on. So you need to do your best to prioritize Hydron, where these turrets are being placed, and of course, do your best to turn and burn when Iron jumps on it.
Yeah, for right now, this Fisher team is spamming all sorts of damages with this Mongo's overrun. It's just going to lay down a lot of pressure and lay down a lot of damage on you, and unless you can maybe make some composition swaps or something else, it's just going to be a flurry of damage running upon you as Cosmic already getting a dash onto Redix, and yet again, a similar story to that of the first fight, first player down, and Fisher's already running with it.
This composition is just pure evil to play against. I think St. Clair needs to start making some swaps. Redix will be the first to do so. Razor following suit. Matching Hydron, Symmetra. Symmetra's perks are incredible, but also the space control in these small corridors. We'll see how that's going to pan out. With Hydron already having a photon barrier available, this should just be an instant Fisher fight with him.
Well, let's see here. They have ultimates on the board. Kiwi's got themselves the Orbital Ray already, and already a first perk into play as well for Hydron. As well as Kiwi Orbital Ray is going to come out. This is going to impact the fight immensely here. They're just going to push forward on it. There's only one lane where that Orbital Ray can go, and Iron is going to chase down a barely escaping Soaks, who lands him at low health, but no death. Still, Fisher holds on.
No, Fisher going to play their time. Now Malchus has the urge. Going out to the overclock, but this is where all the ultimates start to come to play. We've had 7 that have impressed in just this fight alone. The cage fight, though, Iron wants to have the final say in it, and that will go ahead and do it. St. Clair, that was 3 big tools dumped into it. They got no return from it.
Yeah, now you got Fisher pretty much timing out what they want to in terms of perks here that they want to select and make sure they get the right ones in turn. And St. Clair now switching on over from the Ramattra into the Malga Mirror, so this will be all over. Noxious switching on over from the Sojourn into the Far as well, which means almost guaranteed unless they win this fight here, they're not going to have a perk to play with. And that was going to be a Kitsune Rush shout out about here. Cosmic's going to see if he can get anything going, as well as the Kitsune Rush shot from Redix. That's the only ultimate on the floor. Otherwise, this is Drive-By City here. St. Clair, in the meanwhile, is able to pick up the point. Just pushing out Fisher right now with their own sore pressure, as just kind of finding an entryway in. This Malga's trying to find one way in, and that overrun makes a big difference in terms of making space. Fisher does recap the point in the meanwhile, and halfway down to overtime clock, St. Clair able to contest for the moment, and now it's just who's going to burn out the other right now. Symmetra trying to burn away the Malga, but not having enough to do so. It's going to be the photon barrier out to try to protect this team on one half of the point. Is it still going to be enough? Because they're still running them over right now. The rally comes out to stun out the Lucio, but the Lucio runs away just in the nick of time. But Hydron and Cosmic finding their picks, and it's just going to be it. Nearly clean on this first point. Fisher's going to win at 111, starting us off on Lijiang Tower.
Beautifully played by Fisher there. When that fight started, just completely respecting Redix's Kitsune Rush, backing off, forfeiting that space, allowing St. Clair to burn their tools because they were desperate in an overtime situation before waiting for the right opportunity to strike, come back in with that rally of grapes, and actually had a massive shield bash in there that opened the door for both Cosmic and Hydron with that full charge beam to come in and get those final blows done. I mean, Fisher, all around, you look at players who've hit the highest levels of WCS and even Overwatch League, and somebody like Hydron here. The experience is plentiful, and the discipline is really showing today in this first round.
Yeah, right now they're showing very well why Fisher is inside of that top 3 rankings at the moment. Now it makes a big difference here, because that first map can very well ultimately change the pace. If this goes all the way to a game 5, this first map makes it so much easier for the deciding team to pick their map, pick their strat, and win. Not in a tight one, but this could very well still be a very good matchup regardless. 3 versus 8. I'm looking to see if St. Clair can redeem themselves as Noxious and Azure will run right on in and actually stomps onto the head of Straits at the same time. That's a rare one for you inside of the kill feed, and St. Clair does exactly what Fisher did to them in the first round. They run them over to start.
I'm liking it. Bit of a taste of their own medicine. This is St. Clair's bread and butter. For most of the fall semester, actually, only ended up playing these Malga-type compositions, and you can see why. A much better start compared to the last round. This composition is not easy to push into. We saw that in the last round. The amount of poke that you're able to put out, and not to mention the pressure from Noxious now on this Symmetra makes it even more challenging to get maneuvered.
Actually, right now, making sure they hold on to the point and run into each other. 2 Mongas running into each other. It's a cancel out, and now it's a whip shot off the map here from the Brigitte. That is Soaks, but Soaks does go down. Doesn't really matter though when the rest of your team is falling away anyways. Poor Juno has to fall off the map just to make sure they don't give any more ult percentages here. St. Clair looking like a different team right now, Molly.
That was a wonderful play out of Soaks. Not only just boops Hydron, but also forces Grapes, dodges out of the shield bash, and he goes sailing right over the edge. I mean, that is some serious ankle-breaking tactics St. Clair had, and read the teleporter play. They had it set up first, and with these ultimates coming online, particularly Redix's lead on this orbital ray is going to be very helpful for this next engage.
I think they can hear it for them. They're going to go after speed boost. They're going to have the hyper ring. They're going to have the orbital ray, and all that means is speed away. This is going to be a quick one unless Fisher can do something about it here. They get a 1-for-1 trade launches for the Genji of Cosmic here. Blade's going to come out. Let's see if Razor does anything. Get another trade. Both of those matches are gone. This Blade does nothing else but hold on for just a couple of more moments. Kiwi finally takes care of Razor, but look how quick this Malga is falling down. Axure in a 4v1 scenario. You're not winning that at all with Kiwi Fisher taking it back.
Fisher were able to walk their way around the objective and outmaneuver Razor's Dragon Blade. It was actually great. Again, he came up as the hero on this Brigitte. It's not his favorite thing to play, but it's what got Fisher to such a high ranking in the first place. You can really see why these two teams are within the top 10 and can bash heads like this. It's now a matter of can St. Clair manage to push back on a Fisher roll, or they got stuck last time.
We'll see if they can make a difference this time around here inside of the cage, and it's a cage fight, and it's a blade fight as well. Slashing and dashing away. Cosmic finds 2. Cosmic's gonna find a 3rd. It's a clean wipe, all thanks to one rage in the cage known as Iron.
Cosmic showing up in that kill feed. He particularly is the one player on this team that was kind of unknown, kind of coming into these last 2 semesters just out of the rank ladder, but has been an incredible showing on Genji in particular. Something Fisher are using to their strengths so far.
Genji getting that blade twist against while doing 25 additional damage over time when shortly after an elimination. That just means dashes after dashes. Once you get that elim, that's going to do a lot more damage as well, especially on a blade that gives you 30% life skills. So Fisher's got a good combination right now. Cosmic, and I'm pretty sure Razor will do the same here when that they're just matching here. It's a flurry of ultimates going to be used to start off. That's just great, using the rally first and foremost. And now it's just an orbital ray that comes down from Kiwi, looking to see if they can secure this fight. They get a 1-for-2 trade now in favor of Fisher. Axure gets one back to the higher depth team. He could turn this around, but a full thunder in the middle of the cage means they have to hide on one side, but that cage is small. The fight still continues on here with very low health bar, and somehow, some way, Fisher and St. Clair are going to trade here. It's going to be Genji on Genji violence, but it's Cosmic that deflects it, and Fisher's going to hold on.
That was all Grapes too. That was a shield bash onto both of St. Clair's backline. There wasn't a chance for them to get up, and overall allowed Cosmic to sustain just a little longer. Fisher now, this is the last fight. St. Clair, they're gonna have to rush to touch, not just setting up the TP.
Yep, it's gonna be the full-time berry immediately right after the teleportation as so right now just trying to clear it out, and they've got a touch for a little while. St. Clair is there, but Fisher's calmly tights out for the moment. Razor does have to pull on the blade. Now it's a laser beam against the blade who wins it this time thanks to the help of Malga. It's the blade that finds 2. And this is going to be St. Clair now forcing Final Fight territory out of Fisher with almost nothing on the board.
And now Fisher, they're going to be the ones to scramble back. They're close to a couple of ultimates, sure, but what sustain? Look how far up St. Clair are pushing. They're trying to deny this touch altogether. The TP can't get set up.
Hydron get there in time, though. That's the problem. The TP is there, and the TP gets around. So, yes, they get the TP off. in time. And the problem is you've already lost 2 of your players. Stokes and Razor are gone. And now this looks to see if we're going to take it all the way out to the Garden. It finds Graves as well. Healers are down and about. Cosmic going down as well. Rally Bash just to make sure Cosmic can't get anything else going. Wally, tight match to start us off here. 111 to start on Control Center. How about St. Clair turning this around? 199 on Night Market. Garden comes up next.
Yeah, and to think how Control Center went too, this was not looking close. I'm like, oh, we gotta buckle up. This might not be a long series, but then Clair came back and proved that thought wrong almost instantly. This composition is something that, again, they've ran in the past semester with a lot of success, and if that's what Fisher want to play, St. Clair had zero issue meeting them for that battle. They've had great value out of these teleporters, but more importantly, Razor on this Genji has really stepped it up for them, following up on Axeray's jumps, but this time we'll be going over to the Pharah on a more open map, and we'll have to see how that's going to handle, because Fisher don't have a realistic way to contest the Sky Hero.
Yeah, Razor moves on over to the far instead, and absolutely right. They have really nothing to handle this. I mean, unless Kiwi is very accurate and does have the shots to do it, but Razor already doing some Pharah things on this map, knocking Hydron off the map. This should signal a very early fight win for them as well. But Kiwi fighting 2 on the torpedoes? Are you kidding me? Soaks and Nox just go down by the hands of Kiwi's torpedoes. Does this make a difference? So you have a Genji in play, but this Genji might just be in a little bit more trouble here. Kiwi able to back off for a little while. So despite Kiwi's efforts, looks like St. Clair will get first hold on the point unless a Hydron switch here onto the Soldier instead makes a big difference. Cosmic taking out Redix means that despite what that start was for Hydron getting off the map, it's going to be Fisher's point.
Yeah, it's wonderful comeback. Again, Fisher know how to play their timings, and St. Clair, they got that elimination so quickly that the point wasn't even unlocked yet. So they waited for Hydron to regroup, instantly swapping over off to the Sojourn to match this Pharah that Razor's put out, who's just going to go ahead and counter swap again, because that's just how Overwatch is sometimes. St. Clair are forcing Fisher to play their game and still have a ton of damage output with these changes.
Razor goes back on over to the Genji instead to make sure that at least there's something of familiarity here, and there's nothing really to take you out of the skyscrapes. By the way, moving recently on over to the Lucio instead. This team is back in, so that gave them a fight win earlier on. It's going to be Torpedoes out yet again. Does have the familiar Vitals out to keep this team alive as much as possible. Gets the orbital ray out at the same time, though. This is going to be a very, very quick clear out here from the orbital rays. So while Radix uses it, now they're going to use a sound barrier here to try to keep themselves up. But Rally comes out at the same time too. St. Clair still thinks they're going to use ultimates here to win out this fight. Hydron falls off the map. That's an expensive fight win for both Fisher, to lose that fight and for St. Clair to keep this.
Redix too late to save their Malga, Grapes too late to save Iron. Both the supports ults just not hitting their mark, and because St. Clair, they ended up dying first, and you had the backup of the rest of your team there. They were able to come through, but now you gotta deal with Kiwi's unmatched orbital ray.
Yeah, Torpedoes yet again hitting at least 3 people inside of that sequence for Fisher from Kiwi. Now the orbital ray out on the bridge as well. They trade 1 for 1 though, but the bigger one is running going up. Less healing available to you. Just Snow on there. Now it's the cage fight that comes out here. Asher thinks they get to win this in the cage fight, which they do, because it's going to be the overclock and the blade used at the same time. So that's 3 ultimates for St. Clair just to hold on, but Iron also using the cage too.
I don't know about that cage fight from Iron or Razor's Blade. The fight was already done. 4 players from Fisher were dead before that Blade even ended up coming out. So St. Clair looking a little dry in terms of the ultimate bank. At least Fisher, it's even drier. It's a desert on the other end. So it's going to be looking more towards these engages, which I got to give it to St. Clair. Going in with Razor has had more success so far than what Fisher has found. And of course, it doesn't matter if Genji doesn't have a head.
Yeah, Genji's head just rolled off from the secondary railgun fire shot. It's going to be Axer running on over Graves. This fight is all but lost, and that just makes the biggest difference, right? When that secondary railgun hits on a head roll, man, oh man, it's just fight over already.
And it's not for bad for worse to Fisher. Because you lost the player so early, St. Clair just got a bunch of ult charge. Both support ults online. Nowhere near that amount is the same for Fisher, especially since you have a Grape Lucio instead of the Brigida. Last fight territory, and Fisher got one heck of a mountain to climb and really at the mercy of Soaks and Redix.
Trying to fight territory. St. Clair guaranteed at least 99% here on the snap. Let's see if they can keep it though and keep a win on their side of the board. Good start though. Razor's able to take care of Hydron as Reddick and Soch both use the rally and the orbital ray. Grace taking out Noxious onto the map, so that's one less damage down. One to go here for Fisher to see if they can hold on for dear life. Graves using the Samurai, but the Samurai wipes off. The Cosmic still finding down themselves the low health. It's going to be the Hyper Ring alongside of the orbital ray too. This could be the turnaround for Fisher. St. Clair's got nothing in the boat, and so St. Clair has to back off, already dying to it, and Fisher holds on.
Fisher came back again. The fights that they win, Keegan, are the ones that they should lose. This is a really weird pattern that we're starting to fall into. I guess Fisher just need that extra pressure to go ahead and clutch up, and you'll have to win about 2 more fights to make it happen. But again, we got our blender combo. Cage fight plus Dragon Blade for St. Clair to work with. Their engages have been impeccable. Fisher, the only fights they've won, Keegan, have been the ones that they've lost a player first.
Let's see, in a high-level matchup like this, the first player to go down usually means the fight over. Cosmic finds 2 on a dash, on a slash. Cosmic's gonna find more in the cage, and the cage fight goes down by the hands of the blade as well. Cosmic finds 4. My oh my, Genji from Cosmic.
We know Cosmic can come up with these massive plays, and that's actually terrible for St. Clair too, because you ended up committing the cage fight. The first player to die to the Dragon Blade was Razor, so you had no opportunity to strike back. Fisher, now knowing that they have the upper hand here, will back up a little just to save some space with the overclock.
Gotta win one more fight here on either side to cap this point off. St. Clair is able to recapture this, by the way. Fisher kited off, nearly let the overtime clock run out. But now Razor's blade's gotta be a little bit bigger than Cosmic's one so far. Now the cage is out as well. The cage keeps in from Iron, and now Iron's got to make something happen here because the members of Fisher are falling low. But Sora, St. Clair, Hydron's going to get one up to Reddick. The overclock comes out at the same time too, and Fisher's going to hold on, flips the entire point. I don't know if anyone's touching here in the final seconds, and it's not even going to be close. Fisher comes back down 99 to 43 and wins the second point 100 to 99 here. So Fisher College up 1-0 here in the series. This is going to be a challenge for both sides here. In fact, again, this is a tough, or every single composition you find here, they were swapping left and right? We saw the Pharah swap off early. We saw Lucio come in for the change. We saw basically what was, earlier on the Malga, but we saw Ramattra early on for St. Clair as well. So this can very well change up what everybody's doing here. And Fisher's going to go for what was a Lucio earlier on, but then Kiwi switching on over to the Juno instead. So pretty much no changes on either side. Nearly mirror for mirror here to start us off. So it's going to be a quick fight. Who's going to get there faster? Looks like St. Clair's got the upper hand to start up on Fisher. Claire just trying to push their way in here, and now it's going to be the Manga running in. Iron's got enough confidence to run into this whole team here. And this is, these kinds of fights here are the ones that either go really quickly or really slowly, and this slow burn is what we get to start us off. It's already the point unlocked here, but Axer takes down Iron, trades that out. But Axer showing up with 2 hearts here right now, giving themselves 2 kills, and the rest of the team will follow up. St. Clair is the first one to start.
The fact that the 2 most important pieces of these competitions right now are your Malga and your Symmetra. The Symmetra is the majority of your damage, and you want to get your Symmetra in a position where she's close enough to charge up that beam and shred through the other tank. The Malga is your initiation, barreling through the team and buying the space for that sim. The fact that Iron couldn't get Noxious out before he lost all of his health, it really did not set Fisher up well there, and they're really going to be trying to collapse on this specific hero. And you can see that Noxious knows this. He's literally sitting on a teleport to try to avoid getting jumped on.
Not having their first just yet. We're trying to build it up here in the meanwhile. It's St. Clair just melting away this Vegeta for a little while, but gets back up. Reddick's now using the orbital ray here, and that's going to allow this team for St. Clair to just push the door wide on open. And so consider some long fights here, but St. Clair just snaps their finger on 1 orbital ray, and that's all they have to use.
What they did too is they started to try to push into the other team. Iron's like, no, we're going to split their attention, go right into the back line, and everyone just turned around. They ignored Reddick's orbital ray entirely, fought without it to collapse on the kills, and it forced Hydron to make the swap over to the Soldier, hoping some more consistent poke damage will put a dent in it, but isn't going to do much for this point. 97% and counting.
They do have a touch. But do they have a contest here? There's a big difference, because if Razor can get anything off this blade, that would be big for them. Cage fight is out. Blades come out on either side, but Razor's going to be the first to find 2. Cosmic only finds 1 before burning away, and Reddick's getting that kill. And all that's left to go here is 1 lonely Soldier just to burn away. And it is St. Clair taking it clean on the first point arena as we head to the next.
Welcome to Malga Juno Sim Comps, people. Oh boy, visual clutter at its finest, let me tell you. These comps run on ultimates. They run on that specific rotation. Fisher used 4 and lost, okay? That's a problem. When you're looking ahead towards these next couple of fights, St. Clair, sure, you also used 4, but you're gonna be closer to an orbital ray, and in the long run of these kind of things, if you fall behind on an ultimate economy, it's really difficult to recover unless you're holding something later or using something super duper early. So it's Fisher now running even further uphill battle.
Yeah, the first perks coming out here. Dragon Turst out for Genji to start this off, and now they're going to have deflection. A lot of bullets deflected. Razor falls down half and will fall down to Cosmic, who is somehow just right behind Razor to take that assassination down. It is Fisher that's able to start off on the point, and they might even be able to capture this a little bit further as well. Early on in a fight here in a 45, not a situation you wanted. Reddick also extending the orbital ray as well to what could very well be and what will be a lost fight for them.
But they do end up getting the flip for a little bit, so St. Clair, they'll go ahead and buy some percentage away. I like the thought process of Reddix there, going for a 45. Problem is, Cosmic was still deep in the back line, not really scouted out, and there wasn't a thing to deal with him. Fisher like, all right, just go kill. We have Hydron, and for the poke raid, they're kind of taking advantage of St. Clair's composition, having T-Rex arms. You can't get your Symmetra close enough to do the damage that you need, because Hydron can be effective from basically any range on this field.
Right now for Fisher here, looking to see if they can hold on to this point after what was a clean St. Clair first point on Arena. They're in Refinery, trying to see if they can refine their strategy a little bit. Overclock is going to be used immediately as soon as Hydron sees one out the door, and maybe even a push in here. They're just trying to, they split the team entirely, and the Symmetra, what a shot as Hydron gets, as Noxious gets knocked away thanks to the Lucio, but Hydron's able to find the flick on, and it looks like Fisher's going to cap this point. Molly Rattata won a piece here on NJC.
Ooh! It's looking good too, and Fisher right now gonna go ahead and clean house, and I said at the beginning that this composition will run and die on that ultimates, and at that current time it was Hydron's overclock that helps get them the rest of the way there. You got a full economy. It is bustling on both sides. I think St. Clair, I like their odds, and not as much. The support ultimates here have an incredible amount of impact. Unless Axeray and Razor can really force Fisher into a blender, it's not gonna take too much of this Dragon Blade and Overwatch to stop it.
Thinking about another thing as well, this is a cage fight that comes down. Cosmic has the blade to combo that as well. Axer using the cage, but that's not going to amount to anything. So Fisher using 3 ultimates, yes, secures the fight, but St. Clair's 2 as well. Axer and Razor using their cage and using their blade comes up off Fisher though with that extra help.
I'm telling you, I was watching all the ultimate buttons that whole fight. Iron, Cosmic, and Kiwi all press Q with the exact same seconds. I kid you not. That is how in sync Fisher are with these types of plays. St. Clair, they want to try to go in more with this rally and orbital ray, but the beat from Grapes is too early for them.
Well, Grapes actually nearly Ajaxed as well. Soaks had landed that rally shield bash on, man. That would have been an Ajax to call, but instead what we're calling is Soaks as they take down Hydron, and this is who ultimates use Molotov barrier as well as the rally in exact time, honestly there, as it will be St. Clair taking over this point, but not before Fisher has to say to stall out. This only a couple of more moments, and there it is, St. Clair able to put the 62%.
I'm not a huge fan of that beat from Grapes. In these types of comps, you're expecting it to be more of a give your team a second life, not just run at them with full force with an extra boost. And because you didn't have that extra sustain later on, St. Clair were able to outlast them, and without having an orbital ray with Noxious setup and turrets at close range. I mean, this is exactly where St. Clair can start to thrive first time.
Here for this team out of St. Clair, see if they can make a difference. That's 2 dashes away from Cosmic. That's 2 kills. Orbital Ray here for St. Clair. Looking to see if this can make a difference and turn this game, which it does. It takes down Iron, so despite Cosmic getting the very 2 early picks, never count out St. Clair when they have the ultimate to work with. Reddick is able to help to find 1. She's going to try to take a different angle here. That is an overclock from Hydron, but doesn't find anything. This might have gone to waste here unless Hydron can find 1, which it doesn't. Overclock runs out, and St. Clair still holds on to this point. They've got at least no ultimates on the board for now. Kiwi can make the difference here. Kiwi does have the overrate to use, not a Hyper Ring though. Hyper Ring finally paired up alongside of it, and this could be a Fisher win trade-off. Redix does find the dash on the Soaks, and Fisher's going to hold on.
Playing the long game there, that's for sure. It was this kind of Grapes Cosmic duo that started it off, had a good off angle with them, and it's even harder to catch a Genji if he's speedy. So Fisher did use that to their advantage and will have their favorite combo up and ready, but this time one of the support ultimates to back it up. It's this war of attrition between these Genjis and these Maugas that's going to come down to decide Junkyard.
7%, they do get the touch on. They get the 2 hearts as well from the manga out. Axer drops to the cage. Now it's going to be a play from Razor, but Razor's not even inside of the cage to do that. Razor is chasing, but is able to find a Hydra on that trade down. Iron and Cosmic find it, and Cosmic finds through in the process here. So despite what ultimates were used on that board, it's a 2-for-2 with both the Genjis and the Mangas. It's going to be Fisher taking second point.
Razor just was so tunnel vision there on to Kiwi. It was like, guys, I can get this if I get this kill. There's no healing for Fisher, but at that point, you're so far away. Juno's so maneuverable, and Fisher were able to win that cage fight battle that was so important. Perhaps a slight misstep here, but I don't think St. Clair are out of this just yet. Moving over to Bomb Flats for our next objective. More on the open side, just like Junkyard. But that's St. Clair here first, because Posture Noxus never moved the photon barrier.
Must-win point 4 here for St. Clair to keep themselves in NJC and hopes to tie up the series. That's an overrun that runs into 3 there. And it's going to be the Sound Barrier invested from Grace to make sure they can still win this fight out. Iron's got the headshot onto Axer. Now this is looking like Fisher's going to take over this point, although St. Clair investing the round, Soaks gets nothing out of it. Instead finds 2 of their teammates dead. They do get the first point on. See if any more ultimates are invested. In fact, it is. Hydron uses the overclock. St. Clair backing off for this, and in fact, that's another DPS overclock. I'm fine too, but if I'm St. Clair, that's not a bad trade.
See, this is why I use the beat mid-fight, not at the beginning of the fight. Fisher were able to re-engage a lot faster than St. Clair were ready for. Completely ran over Axeray before they knew what happened. And with us holding this far up too, there's not a lot of breathing room for St. Clair to walk in. Redix is going to have to use this orbital ray just to move through this first choke, unless Razor just gets Hydron out of nowhere.
Yeah, just gets him out of nowhere on the side. So Azure now just diving right on in, and Razor's going to find another one here. Torpedoes with Familiar Vitals out at the same time. Healing your allies quickly, making sure that damage is poured on here. So St. Clair, a very quick fight win. If Razor's just going to find 4 in that team fight, by the way.
I heard the orbital ray go down. I'm like, oh, St. Clair, they got a pick. They want to make sure they can win it. But no, that was Kiwi's orbital ray on the other side. So Fisher invested that tool, and they weren't even able to play in its radius. Razor was already so deep into that backline. This is such a great spot for St. Clair to be in to hold. Well, we said that before, Keegan, and Cosmic has taught us a lesson anytime this Dragon Blade has made an appearance. Yeah,
just beware of Cosmic. Cosmic can do wonderful things with this blade. If there's any indication here, Iron's almost up to a cage fight as well, and if Iron gets up to one, that Cosmic Iron combination can be and will be deadly. Right now it's just a poke battle. They're not really doing anything with it. Here comes the blade right on top of the Juno. Orbital Ray doesn't save the Juno in time, and in fact it will be a trade-off because now the Cyber doesn't save out Redix in the time off. Now Azur's going to go ahead and drop down the cage. It's going to be the Sound Barrier out from Graves. Graves is only able to hit through because it lands up inside of the cage. Isn't enough to save anyone. Both cages go down nearly simultaneously here. Hydron finds a pick, and this is going to be a fight win for Fisher here. Can St. Clair turn this on their head because they don't have a lot of time to do so? I don't think they get another touch here. If Fisher are going to hold all the way up, there's not really a chance. Razor's the only one who's even alive. Redix being sneaky around the back. No, that's not going to matter. Razor dashing the point, using the Dragon Blade, and it's a boop to go ahead and deny it. Fisher are now up 2-0, Keegan. 1 map away from booking their ticket to CECC. This team out of Fisher right now looking for the near sweep because they lost 2-1 in Valorant to St. Clair, which you saw earlier on here, but a sweep potential here, a 3-0 potential here for Fisher. As we are off and running in Esports, and a little bit of a change here, by the way. Iron onto the Ramatra start, mind you, and Noxious is going to try to see if a Reaper works out for them. Interesting. So I think St. Clair are going into this expecting Fisher to roll out on the Malga. Again, it's not the most fun to be playing Lamatra into a Malga, but with the perks that are in, you can have your shield last longer. You can have things work out, including this range. Much better poke damage, and just having Grape send it into the backline certainly helps with that cause. Yeah, it's already 2 players down here for St. Clair. They're looking like they want to take this over. It's going to be the Nemesis form from Iron, punching away Soaks, and Redix, and Soaks gets a little aggressive, would be, I guess, the word. Yeah. Maybe greedy to an extent. But it's first fight over to Fisher. It's a Lucio thing, you know. It's a Lucio thing. I mean, what? To be fair, Grapes did just full on
full send it at Noxus's face at the start. Like, I mean, it's a Lucio thing, you know?
Yeah.
St. Clair do need to find a way to close this gap. Grapes and Kiwi combined, much more speed than what St. Clair currently have. Razor is a great start to that, winning that duel out on the Cosmic, catching them off guard, but Fisher have been very good about giving space when they know they can't fight.
I didn't realize too, Redix now on the Moira as well as Soaks to the Lucio, so a little bit of a Moira Lucio combo. A combination we haven't seen in a little while too. Here from a little compositions, but Azure's gonna just run over both Kiwi and Iron. 24 meters first fight win, and first 20 meters goes on over to Fisher, but St. Clair able to turn this back.
Yeah, that's kind of the experience I expected Iron to get playing Ramantra, and yeah, he's gonna go over to Diva. A little bit better in that, and even great. X-Ray absolutely should not have died there. Just overstayed his welcome in the open, and Redix too sticking around is shocking. St. Clair really can't be staggering this out.
Well, they are, though. Redix goes down nearly to a coalescence as well. St. Clair does take the lead, but this isn't going to last much longer considering where they are. This is swap after swap here for either side, because now that Ramantra turns into a Diva instead. First time we've seen the Diva, first time we've seen the Tracer, first time we've seen the Reaper here, and first time we're going to see the Junker Queen out as well. That's a switch on from Azure as well. So this is swaps on swaps on swaps here. Minus, throwing the Genji, coalescence comes out down the lane, down main. They're just trying to push them all the way out. Hydron getting a good amount of healing here from the support line. So Hydron's going to credit the teammates after this if you have any endorsement buttons left. 40 meters for 25 meters. It is going to be pushed back towards St. Clair's side. Cosmic still taking down Soaks, meaning that there is no stamina that's going to be provided in this fight. Let alone Noxus's health bar is also falling also low. They chase them down, and so it's going to be another fight win here for Fisher.
It was a smart play from St. Clair, trying to flip the map and realizing that they had the advantage up top. But again, the speed and the range disadvantage that they're at is a little bit too much for them to handle. I like Noxus swapping over to the Tracer here, and hopefully it may allow you to get a contest on this point, because you are down Redix, and it's not great for the full team to have to get it engaged without the significant portion of it.
We'll see Soaks coming back into play right now. Greg doing the same thing, as it is a great knife from it is a great knife from Azure to pull back Iron, and Iron just waiting for Doom. 50 meters left. St. Clair can turn this around right now. No tank, no chance at this fight unless St. Clair or unless Fisher wants to get a little bit greedy, which possibly can't because Noxus trades out for the Tracer instead, and both DPS is now gone. St. Clair, I mean, it's changed all over the place, Molly.
We're seeing a lot of these fights just ending with one elimination, and Fisher, for the most part, have actually come back from those because St. Clair will overextend. This is the first time that didn't happen. St. Clair stuck closer to themselves, which is what they need to do in order to come back. It's going to be a lot harder, though. So many ultimates about to come online. Kiwi start.
Yep, Kiwi start. Soaks will counter that as well with a Samir alongside to help Razor out with the blade, but Overray and Samir dropped on Fisher's side. Iron still has the self-destruct. Azure still has the Rampage too, but there goes Kiwi. There goes Great. Full support's gone. Cosmic trying to turn this around. Somehow lands a pulse bomb onto Redix with no fade available, but still St. Clair is able to take the lead, and they're going to be able to take the checkpoint too.
Hydron can do whatever he wants. Sure, you gave a point. St. Clair got what they wanted and are okay with you committing 2 ultimates just to clean up here. I mean, this is best case scenario, honestly, for St. Clair. You take this any day of the week. Fisher utilized, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 ults between everything on that. You're holding on to 3 going forwards and will be able to deny this checkpoint push.
Actually, it was 5 because Cosmic used that pulse bomb early on to Redix, which didn't make a difference. So Fisher expending everything in the tank and the kitchen sink, and St. Clair's might as well throw the kitchen sink back, except this kitchen sink, all you have to do is throw up the coalescence, and you find 2, thanks to Razor getting 2 in the back line here. Steva's trying to dive in, and the Steva dives in with no self-destruct anyways. Iron falls down. Yes, Soaks is gone, but that Soaks can go ahead and speed right back in. Cosmic got Hydron, by the way, getting some kicks into the back line. That holds supports down, but St. Clair's still going to get some progress out of it.
Dude, Redix and Soaks have died every single fight because the DPS line and Fisher just managed to live, like, all the time. And they're still in the back line. By the way, Cosmics and Hydron are just chilling back there. St. Clair said, if you want to be here, that's fine. You can stay there. We're taking the spot. They're prioritizing this objective, and that playstyle is really coming back to bite Fisher here.
Yeah, I've had my fair share of finding out who's spawn capping me, but this is a little bit different enough. I guess on a higher elo game, just stay in the back line. It doesn't matter whether you're in spawn or not. It's just a fight 1v1 between Tracers before Cosmic's like, okay, enough of this. I'm just going back to the rest of the team. Iron finds Soaks though, so that's a Lucio gone. And now it's just a bomb thrown up mid-air. See if that lands anything, but that just lands for nothing. Whips wide. The Graves Getting the sound boom kill onto Azure, and this is going to signal a fight win. This is still close to Molly. Problem is, though, St. Clair already got the checkpoint and progressed forward. Fisher still has yet to cap it.
Yeah, Fisher at the end of the day will end up taking that fight, and I didn't think it was going to be that way. Azure had that rampage, hit nobody. Nobody got hit with that, and that is really tough for St. Clair because that is your big ultimate that you're kind of banking on to win these fights. Razor has been playing out of his mind throughout the course of this map, and is going to have to do so here as well, having the only real big tool other than a little pulse bomb that Noxious is keeping in his back pocket.
Yeah, Noxious holding that into the back pocket, seeing if that can make a big difference. Razor also having a blade as well, so both DPSs online here for St. Clair. They still don't cap the checkpoint. That robot's still near mid, and Razor trying to blade away here. It is all that Iron can do to stave off, but Noxious bringing out the pulse bomb from the pocket, able to find a Hydron. That's a 3-for-1 trade, make it 4-for-1 onto Graves. How about the team kill? St. Clair will advance even further. They're keeping the hopes up with 3 minutes left.
And the supports lived, Keegan. It's a
And they
miracle.
lived! And they lived!
I know they got almost the whole team except Nox, but it's okay. He's Tracer. He'll be back fast. Anyways, both support ults here now online, and hopefully we'll be able to move around this first corner. Fisher, you're going to start to sweat it a little bit. Hydron has gotten great value out of the overclock in the past, but it's not going to be easy to St. Clair initiate.
Molestus is going to initiate this wall alongside Sound Bearers. So Sound Bearers invest on either side. Then it's a continuing rush. Then it's an overclock to see if Hydron can get anything here. And it's a Junker Queen very much stuck in this wall. Azure's going to fall here. So Fisher expending the tank. They get 3. St. Clair using 2 ults of their own. Fisher's able to turn it around though, but it is expensive for them to bring it back.
And then that whole time, again, St. Clair, after losing their tank, they're just like, okay, we don't have Axeray. We're just going to put everybody else on the objective and keep it moving. So they got like an extra 15 meters just because of that, and the players not taking so long to die. St. Clair will be able to get another contest right about this bridge, and that's important to especially deny Hydron this high ground space. He's really been hitting those shots if he's had the room to do so. And St. Clair not only have the good setup, but they also have Axeray at Rampage.
Rampage only hits 1 though. That's onto Graves, and that's it. So Graves is going to get out scot-free for this unless you have a Suji, which you don't. So Graves falls down in the meanwhile to take from Noxious to chase that down. So again, Fisher not having this checkpoint here in their earlier fights is devastating for them because St. Clair brought it back.
Welcome to Push. I'm telling you, when we look at where this team is, St. Clair are playing the map correctly. They might not be winning mechanically, but they're playing the map. They're pushing the objective. They're alternating their fight wins, saving ultimates on the ones they know they're not favored, and dumping them on the ones that they are. And suddenly, we're left with just about 60 seconds on the clock. Fisher need at least 3 fight victories in a row to get this lead where St. Clair has it.
That time melting away, down to the final 60 ticks, plus potentially overtime here on the clock. Fisher's got 2 ultimates online. St. Clair Noxious last time landed up with the pulse bomb, was able to land it. This time around, you have it. It's chasing down Akitiko in so much trouble, have to switch step away. Cosmic and Razor both finding a dash, but who's got the better one? Iron Rampage is able to take down the counterpart onto Azure. Offense is going to already have to deflect here, but the Lucio's chasing that down in the backline. But the robot keeps progressing. The bot keeps pushing on to 92 meters. Fisher has to go back to claim it, but still the distance. St. Clair, like you said, playing the objective, and they're still winning it out.
St. Clair are playing this push map to perfection. They're exploiting Fisher. They know that they're winning these ones, and they don't care. You're now fighting them their own spawn. Still 3 fights in a row that need to win, and you're going to have 3 ults coming up online. Fisher needs to drag them out as long as you can, because St. Clair have a 5-fingered punch about to smack them in the face.
And that robot's still on the side of St. Clair as well, so either way, 4 checkpoints are in favor of St. Clair. It is going to be the Kitsune Rush out and about here. Sound Bearers drop at the same time on either side. Kiwi with the Kitsune Rush alongside of the overclock. Last time this did get them a few kills, however, will it do that this time around as well? Azure goes down the hatch, and Cosmic overtime clock hits. Hydron and Cosmic both finding their picks. Everybody falling also low with the team kill, but Fisher's got to play perfect here on out.
And it's not going to be easy. The fact that St. Clair used a lot there is definitely helpful, but it's still another fight you're going to have to win. Axeray still has this rampage. Kiwi needs to hit the biggest Suzu of his life, or Fisher just better have fancy footwork and hope they can make sure Axeray just full-on whips with this ult again. St. Clair can position around this corner as far as they want, and they want this bot to move because they don't want to play into Hydron's high ground sight line.
question is, if Nox just lands his pulse bomb, what are you using your Suzu on? Are you using it on the pulse bomb or using it on the Rampage? That's the two biggest things here, because that's two things you got to worry about if you're Kiwi right now. And you gotta make sure you have it up. It's a land on the Graves. No Suzu there used either. This is gonna be a fight, but Kiwi goes down already. Rampage is just a clean up house here. St. Clair says, sweep me damned. It will be St. Clair holding on. We got a 2-1 game. The Saints stay alive. Top 10 matchup. I mean, sometimes you scrim each other. Obviously, this is their first, and for those that don't know, this is their first matchup here officially in the school year that we could find so far. So if they scrimmed each other, great. But if not, this is an official match that sends you to Texas. And so big things happening on either end. St. Clair starts off on the attacking side, so same side throughout the entire thing. St. Clair's been on red, Fisher's been on blue side. St. Clair runs the Junker Queen, but like you said, here comes Iron on the Malga.
My apologies there, people. I was muted, but basically I was yapping. Axeray, you gotta get close to this team. Iron already burning the charge will make it a lot easier. Noxious needs to get in an effective position and start dealing significant damage to this front line.
Yeah, but the significant damage first comes from St. Clair, who's able to find the back line early. That's great. Spout. One of each rolls down as well. So it is St. Clair that starts us off in a very quick one as well. So last two maps have been all St. Clair starting these points off, and why not? Because it seems like the pressure is mounting, and already a swap off here. Iron's gone on over to the Junker Queen instead.
Yeah, Iron's gonna go ahead and just try to mirror it. I like that we have this agreement to just, let's play the fun hero, the one that takes more skill. I don't know if Axeray had any fun with that. Kind of got executed in a small room, and it seems that the rest of St. Clair is gonna have a similar fate here, Keegan. If you're St. Clair too, you're about to be in a world of even more pain. Fisher are gonna set up in one of the spawn hold type points that we get to see. There aren't too many left in the current state of Overwatch 2, but this one on King's Row is especially brutal because of the high ground the attackers have and the small chokeways you can funnel yourself through.
I mean, there's two brutalities if you're thinking about it, right? There's this spawn chokehold that's very infamous, very in different games, but also that underneath the archway as well. Iron's gonna pop overclock too after getting a kill onto Soaks. Is that gonna counter out to the Coalescence? Coalescence doesn't push Hydron, in fact runs out just ending the time here. That's a shot. Graves helps that out onto Noxious, so Fisher's still gonna play this defense, and now they're opting to maybe go back under this archway, but yet again, that's another point where it's brutal if you hold this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get more than the archway. Iron ended up going down in that engagement. That was a good Coalescence too. You can't hold that spawn hold if you lose more than 1 or 2 players, just because the spawns being like several light years away. So St. Clair will have some more breathing room here, and officially a Rampage to work with. There's zero answer for Fisher right now if that ultimate is pulled.
See what they pull out of the bag here. Real from the side of St. Clair. There's 2 out for Fisher, and it's already going to be the Rampage out. Kiwi's not going to get an effect on it. Neither is Hydron. They melt away thanks to the bio things, the purple of the Rampage from Azure. They are able to clear them all the way out. But look at Cosmic still clearing out the back line. That is a Kidiko gone. That is a Soldier gone as well. And yes, while St. Clair and Dan's gone over, that's the back line gone. Cosmic's going to get more. And even Iron investing into the Rampage, and why not? You got the cleanup, you got the kills, and so Fisher gonna hold on.
But at what cost? All of your ultimates is what that cost. Fisher ended up going so deep into the backline that if you genuinely didn't commit 3 ultimates there, you would have staggered out this entire objective and likely would not have gotten another contest on this point, which is why Graves had to make that decision. So St. Clair are a little bit better off in the long run of this sort of battle that we're seeing. It's mostly on Razor now. Dragonblade has found most of the value in the past. Didn't do it again here.
Noxious is able to find one already to start. That's Cosmic. Your back line and gambling down. That's one of each roll yet again. It's stuck inside of the bar. Yeah, you're not here for drinks. You're here for depression. Just another death.
Wow.
3 minutes left to go on the clock here for St. Clair.
That was dark. I'm surprised. That was dark. That was dark. I mean, it is kind of a dark, dreary day for Fisher, because St. Clair pressed none of their shiny buttons. There's still 3 of them going in. Should be another contest available. It's a very speedy team. Noxious wants to make sure that doesn't happen, though. Very early overclock, and Fisher are going to have to burn several people out just to engage.
Let's see here for St. Clair. They use the overclock. Redneck will use the Skates and Air Rush just after that, and Hydron will counter with their own overclock, but neither overclocks get anything. It's a dry fight either way, except for Razor having a blade. If Razor even decides to activate this, but with no backup available except for Saber coming up. So if Soaks uses that in the process, Soaks does use that. but if Razor pull out the blade, you might not even need to use it because Azure and Nox both getting their picks down, and Genji helping away inside of that disruptor shot. So, Clair, what a time bank here, 340 to play with.
This kind of clutch game that Fisher have been playing, St. Clair are exploiting it. Their ultimate management has been so much better than their opponents so far, and in longer objectives like this where you get multiple fights in a row, that's going to come back to bite you if you're not using your tools properly, especially in your compositions. St. Clair now have a Suzu in their way should they pull a Rampage out, but even then, I'm still in a much better spot unless Razor just takes a dive off the map.
I don't know if that was by Lucio Poop either. Because
it wasn't
Razor
Grapes.
It wasn't Grapes. I mean, Grapes doesn't get a kill credit for it, so it's just Razor just saying whoops and falling off the map. So, St. Clair, I'm wasting away for a couple of moments here. Azure, Razor both having their ultimates, Cosmic and Grapes online as well, so we might see a split of blades here. If anything should happen, it's going to be the Samurai out from Grapes. Only catches 4. Cosmic in the middle, that's with basically no health and no shields to work with. The Cosmic's like, yeah, no problem. Able to find 2 slashes, able to find 2 kills. Trades that out for Razor taking down Kiwi, but in this manner right now, defensive stand will still hold her all inside of the storm, forces out the Suzu as well. So go button is on from Fisher. Iron investing the Rampage yet again. They'll find a Rampage on either side. Soaks and Razor melting away. Soaks barely staying up on that health bar. They'll keep trading. These Younger Queens are just going to trade blow for blow here, but Iron's going to get the better of this so far to hold on yet again.
Holy bloodbath. What am I watching right now? These fights are getting crazy, to say the very least of it, and I think the timing's on a lot of that was better for Iron. Not having a Suzu to cleanse anything out. The bleeds are doing even more damage. That's one of Junker Queen's perks is when you go at it in the, well, it's not the one Iron has equipped, but having full 100% life steal on the Carnage too. Your Junker Queen's not going to die in those instances. You don't need the support, and Fisher were able to take advantage of that, and now are propped up in a better position. St. Clair need to play slow to get their ult up.
That's 2 support odds for St. Clair. They're not only using 1 to start. That is going to be the Kitchen Rush. But what's better, though, is when Iron and Grapes use their own Kitchen Rush from Kiwi and make the big impact yet again. That's a quick fight. Kitchen Rush finds 5 assists and or eliminations, and 1 Kitchen Rush makes the big difference.
A huge play there. St. Clair, you can tell there was panic in their eyes, even having their own Kitsune Rush. The pace at which Fisher were playing at totally overwhelmed them, and what used to be a near 5-minute time bank is now getting down to just about 60 seconds. Now eyes turning to Noxious. How can he help buy St. Clair back and pushing this payload?
Yeah, ultimate usage isn't so good so far on this point for Fisher. Overclocked here. Sees if this finds anything, but Fisher calmly is able to kite off even an sound barrier out and about alongside of the blade. Sound barrier dropped at either end. Everybody gets it. Razor's health falling a little bit low now. Razor has to get out of dodge. So everybody's ultimate falls down, and we got no eliminations here. This play is bloodbath of ultimates here. Now Rampage comes out from Iron, is able to find Soaks and Razor. And Iron's been pretty good on these Rampages in the last 2 ultimate usages. They push them back again.
Iron's so good on this Junker Queen. Like, I think he was happy when he's like, oh, I don't have to play Mauga. Thank goodness I can pull out a Junker Queen any day of the week, and has looked wonderful on it. This time, though, we didn't get a trade for the Rampage, so if Oxray can do a similar thing when Fisher doesn't have a way out of it, and that's kind of the only thing that St. Clair are looking towards, or Razor just to be an overall hero. Either way, something big needs to happen because you're running out of time.
Yeah, you gotta hope right now that it is a Suzu used by Kiwi earlier on, but Kiwi's got another Rush available here. Good Naywall here from Azure to take down Hydron. Yes, it's late in the game, but that can make a big difference. Azure goes ahead and uses, or gets 2 picks alongside of a Kiwi Rush help as well. But defensive stand can still hold on here. And look at the backline. Cosmic here, still trying to find more, trying to dive into the backline. Nearly gets the Kiriko, but Noxious is able to find 3 in the process. So home stretch, here we go. No point.
Whoa.
No, this gets scary. It's a Widowmaker now from Hydron too, and this gets a little bit scary here because if Hydron finds 1, it might be game over here. Maywall comes up just in time. Sound barrier out at the same time from Soaks. Soaks is able to find Hydron after Cosmic. That both of the DPS is down. You got 3 meters left to go. Do you have enough in the tank here to call this out? Now Iron 65% to a Rampage. You cannot find it just yet. And Iron's going to fall down here. It is everybody falling on overlap 1800ths of a meter. And for St. Clair, final seconds, they go uno, dos, adios, all the way on Kings Road, just by the skin of their teeth. The Saints still march.
And they better be patting Noxious on the back after that one. If you did not have your Mei building up a blizzard and a fight and like a quarter, then you don't have a way to close that out. and the Maywall pick to go ahead and isolate Ire, punish him for his aggressive gameplay. Like, that was a wonderful choice out of St. Clair to counteract the kind of full force, I'm going to run at you until there's no health left kind of deal that they've sort of been pulling out. It was a great option. It did come late, though. Fisher, again, were faced with a 5-minute time bank that they had to fight back against. Got it down to actually nothing. So overtime completion means that there's a very good win condition for them, especially if they can keep up that same tempo they set on their own defense there. Like, I think that this is a Fisher who can come back, and it's on to see St. Clair how they can start to weather this storm that we've been watching.
Yeah, the storm so far has been St. Clair trying to make their way back, but Fisher's found obviously a way to melt out that time bank. Unfortunately for them, right at the end, a swap to the May makes the biggest difference as Noxious finds 3 at the end, and then it's just touched and just, you know, it's just stagger after stagger after stagger. So let's see if Fisher can come up with a similar situation. First fight win there for St. Clair very quickly early on, mind you. Can Fisher do much of the same here as they already go quickly, just right out of the gates? And usually that's where some teams would be like, okay, let's peek out with the Widow first and see if anything goes. Now, Cosmic's just going to be up there to start with the Genji and just take the full front of damage, which was basically nothing as they hide around the auto or full health. And Azure's going to come right on in, have to use the commanding shot just to stay up before the rest of the team heals on up. First because they reset at the beginning of it. Cosmic, though, with a couple of shurikens, is able to find the headshot onto Soaks, and much like St. Clair's start, Fisher's going to have themselves a quick fight win.
Yeah, this is where you start to get a little concerned. Snowballs can go fast, and St. Clair proved it on their own attack. Cosmic, as well, has been the majority culprit when it's coming to these final blows and the pacing that he's able to go through on this Genji. It is his main hero, and if you let him play it, he's going to have a field day. St. Clair do try to contest this, though, but they don't get somebody on the objective. I really don't like that. Trying to take the fight to get the spawn hole, no longer an option. And can they get out without staggering?
Fisher's gonna make sure that they can. They already used the Suzu too, mind you. So a speed boost here would be so good here for Fisher. They might not even need it. They got the commanding shot to take down Reddick. So they took a big risk. The big reward does not pay off. And it's gonna be Stokes taking out Hydra, but what for at this point?
Oh, I think that was the worst way that could have ended. I think if you're St. Clair, either you get the point and all die together, but dying that far apart is a bit rough. The one nice thing is that Fisher weren't really on the objective for most of that, so you actually get to hold a corner at the bookstore. Ever Kitsune Rush ready to match this, even a shot at a chokehold.
Let's see, Kitsune Rush comes out from Kiwi and Redix at the same time, so it's going to be a very, very quick fight here. Suzu used very early on for Weston, couldn't know who that was, but it might have been from St. Clair early on, as it's a rampage from Azure that's able to find at least 3 picks there, and St. Clair looking like they can hold on unless the blade does something. Cosmic pulls the blade, but it finds nothing as Razor gets the punch. That's a little bit questionable.
I mean, Cosmic, in his defense, has popped off with the blade in the past. 1v4 with sub 50 HP, that's a question mark in my mind. Fisher, you're not gonna have that going ahead. Sound barrier is still an option to kind of help stabilize this. The only thing is, Soax has one to counter out your rampage, so the timing is going to be very important for Grapes in particular. He's been impeccable with it so far throughout this series. Big reason why Fisher won those first 2 maps. With Razor on the hunt for a Dragon Blade flank here, you're going to need it sooner rather than later.
Big here. It's going to find at least 3 on it. Sound barrier is there as well. No Suzu used from Redix because they have the sound barrier, so that Suzu can be safe for a little while. It's going to be the overclock also used from Noxious, but Kiwi finding one onto Noxious. That overclock is gone. That sound barrier is gone, and that's all for nothing here. Razor also popping the blade here, but you would think that Fisher wins the fight.
They should be able to. It's only Razor and Soax kind of living in this backline. Fisher, again, not pushing the payload throughout most of that, so another opportunity for St. Clair to recontest. Wonderful sound barrier. Goodbye, Soax. Wonderful sound barrier by Grapes. It actually hit to counter out both the Dragon Blade and the overclock. He waited a little bit longer to see if the blade would come out before using it when the overclock was actually starting to get players low. And Fisher, they're gonna try to get this point all the way through. It was a boop onto the tank action rate. No, St. Clair still gonna take the fight.
They still can take this fight, but not without Azure. They cap the point in the meanwhile, too. They get Azure. Nobody else was touching, so they do get the additional 90 on the bank, and they might get more out of this as well. A big reward out of capping that. They're going to find a very, very low Genji backline who gets to make a health back, but it doesn't matter when the team melts away. And in fact, Molly, they get probably these first 2 quarters for free.
Yeah, if you're St. Clair, you're starting to sweat just a little bit. 4-minute time bank, and if anything over a minute gets capped, you are in a lose-draw situation. That's not where St. Clair want to be. Something needs to be changed, and in Xaxeray's mind, it's the battle cap that needs to make an appearance, hopefully, quite literally body his way back into these fights.
Yeah, Noxus also switching over to the main as well. Here comes the Keystone Rush. See if they can push forward. Good wall at the same time. That's two characters that can get out. One by the Haddock Manning shot, the other one just climbing the wall. Noxus still fighting Hydron in the process. Able to just down that DPS for the moment. Genji getting a little bit risky. There's the Keystone Rush that gets past the wall just in the nick of time. So Fisher's able to push past it. But Noxus finds 1, 2, and 3. This May is devastating for this team. A Keystone Rush used by Fisher and a blade, but it don't matter when the May is a monster.
Dude, Fisher just lined up together, and it was 3 icicles between the eyeballs of Fisher's players. Oh, noxious. That was beautiful to watch. St. Clair are existing to make sure Iron does not have fun. CECC Madness is the name of their comp, and we need to see how that's going to pan out even further with a Terror Surge on the way. Fisher will do their best to fight through it, but this ult is so good at setting up plays.
Let's see here if
off the map!
Because that's going to be the Terror Surge. Now
The
off
beat!
the map. That is the Ajax of a lifetime there for St. Clair to hold on to this. And no, Razor also getting Iron. Oh, you had your hopes in the head of a sound barrier and an overclock, but it goes away to the depths of below. Oh my goodness.
That's a feels bad, man. I gotta tell ya. Oh, poor Grapes. Just thrown into the abyss. He's like, well, team, I tried. I really did. And well, those are 2 ultimates off the board just with the spawns of 1. St. Clair already burned half of this time bank away, and there's only so much that they need to do, and with 4 tools to do it, you stagger them out properly, we very well could see this going for the rounds.
Blizzard comes out, Suzu's already used, so now they're going to push up on this, see if there's another May Wall in Storm, and now it's a Keystone Rush to counter that out instead, and the Keystone Rush all alongside the Sound Barrier is now going to counter strokes out away, so St. Clair has their counters up, but Azure going down early is not going to be a good sign for you, and in fact, another swing of the axe is bad news for you as well. Yes, we'll get a final fight, but that's home stretch territory with 2 minutes left. If you're St. Clair, you're hoping at least 60 more seconds pass.
Oh, that beat hits Axeray too. That'll be a St. Clair 1 fight, most definitely. But Fisher, even when they know they're at a disadvantage, those are the battles they seem to decide to win. Rushing out the Kitsune Rush, St. Clair just forcing Fisher back. They're just going to kite the entire thing.
Yeah, they have to use the ultimate maybe just to try to get onto point, but either way, that's a good win for Fisher to try to trade this out. If you're St. Clair right now, you're hoping 35 seconds passes. Otherwise, you are not getting a second attack onto this point, and the best you can do is a draw. But let's see how quickly they can win this one out. Iron's got soaked down. That's big news for them. There's also a Blade out as well. The Blade isn't the one taking care of everybody. It's Kiwi Grace and Iron fighting their pick. Final 3 meters. Battle Cattle's got to do a lot here, and they're going to leave time on the clock. It is uno dos adios for Fisher. The Falcons find all 3 points, and they're going to be the only ones to get an answer for this last round. 1:17 on the clock for them, 0 for St. Clair.
And it was a 17-second difference here that separates a win from a draw and a loss from a draw. This is a very tough point to be stuck in. And St. Clair, we're doing so well there. Like, genuinely, if that sound barrier hit the ground a half second earlier, I'd say there was a fighting chance. But Fisher, this can't hurt them anymore. It just makes you play more Overwatch. Sure, that's fun. You like that. But you've been up all day. You don't want to play more Overwatch. You want to go to CECC now. We are not patient. And with how this pacing went, neither team was able to hold a single fight on this first objective. St. Clair, you got 2. You got 2 points that you're going to need to hold. The Junker Queen couldn't do it, so you're bringing back this May. Noxious has been incredible on this hero, slowing down the pace, slowing down the tempo, and partnering that with Axeray's Ramatra, too, to have more of this brawl kind of potential is going to make this interesting. Fisher will have close spawns. If they want to swap to the Malga, they definitely could, which is why St. Clair want to keep this very closely guarded. No secrets on their side, and Fisher, they're going to have to be guessing because, honestly, this is the map. This is their CECC ticket on the line, which is 33% of a point.
Yep, only one tick needed for that ticket in the main madness. Do they punch themselves a spot one more time? Are they 3-time defending CECC East Regional Champions? Minute 17 decides that right here. St. Clair must win fights in order to draw this map and send us to a map 5 at the very least with a 2-1 scoreline still. 55 seconds on the clock. Redix, though, starts us off with a kill onto Hydron. That's not bad for you. If you're Fisher, though, that's an early fight. You had 17 seconds extra from over that minute. You can regroup, and that's exactly what they're doing.
and this is good. Fisher have been great at kiting after they lose a hero, but that's why I was concerned. You see the Ramatra, Iron's gonna pull out this Malga, and it just nullifies Action Ray completely. You have to use all of your cooldowns defensively just to live, and because you're focused on one thing, you forget about the sharp edge of another.
Big thing too to mention as well, if you haven't played it yet, it's 2 perks every which way. Everybody's got a minor, everybody's got a major here in overtime clock. Oh, Iron finds 2, that's 2 picks already. The team starts to fall away, and the Falcons, they may not have gotten the school sweep in the East Regional, but they are gonna get 3 out of 4. Not too shabby. Fisher, once again in Overwatch, are gonna be your 3-time defending East Regional champions, and the tickets are punched for Fisher yet again.